The days are getting shorter and the sun barely peeks over the horizon before slipping away again. Winter's chill is creeping in, and the world is slowly transforming into a frosty wonderland. Each morning, a crispness bites at the air, turning every breath into a visible puff of steam and frosting the trees in delicate white. For many, this is the unmistakable signal. Time to dust off skis and snowboards, dig out winter gear from the closet, and make sure everything is ready for the season ahead. It's the moment to start dreaming of powder days, imagining the thrill of carving through fresh snow and the joy of that first run down a pristine slope. The 2025-26 winter season is nearly here and anticipation is sky high. Resorts are buzzing and skiers everywhere are counting down the days. But this year, there's a major player in the mix, La Niña, a powerful climate phenomenon that's about to shake things up. The big question, where will the snow be deepest and which mountains will get the best storms, is on every skier's mind. The answer starts thousands of miles away in the vast Pacific Ocean, where shifting weather patterns ripple across North America, influencing everything from temperature to snowfall. This season, all eyes are on La Niña, a force that can make or break a ski season, turning some regions into winter wonderlands and leaving others high and dry. La Niña means the usual patterns could flip, bringing epic, record-breaking snow to some lucky regions, while others may face frustrating dry spells and less than ideal conditions. Understanding how La Niña works is key to planning your ultimate ski trip, helping you pick the right destination and the perfect week to go. In this video, we'll break down what La Niña is, why it happens, and how it impacts winter weather across the continent. We'll explore how it changes the jet stream, shifting storms and cold air in surprising ways, and reveal which regions typically thrive with deep snow and which ones might struggle through a lean season. By the end, you'll know exactly where to chase the snow, how to maximize your powder days, and how to make this La Niña season truly unforgettable. Let's dive in and get ready for winter's wild ride. Before we dive into the excitement of powder days and fresh tracks, let's take a moment to understand the powerful force shaping this winter, La Niña. This weather phenomenon is more than just a buzzword for meteorologists and skiers. It's the hidden engine driving the patterns we see on the slopes and in the skies. La Niña is one phase of the El Niño Southern Oscillation, or ENSO, a natural cycle involving changes in Pacific Ocean temperatures and atmospheric pressure. ENSO has two main phases: El Niño, which brings warmer waters, and La Niña, which brings cooler ones. During La Niña, powerful trade winds sweep across the Pacific, pushing warm surface water westward. This allows cold, nutrient-rich water to rise up along the South American coast, a process known as upwelling, which dramatically alters ocean conditions. The result is a vast pool of cooler-than-average water stretching across the central and eastern Pacific Ocean. This isn't just a local event, it has ripple effects that reach far beyond the ocean itself. That cooling of the ocean surface changes the atmosphere above it, shifting wind patterns and altering the flow of moisture and energy around the globe. These changes set the stage for dramatic shifts in weather. The result? The jet stream, the high-altitude superhighway that guides winter storms, gets rerouted across North America. This shift can mean more storms in some regions and drier conditions in others. La Niña isn't a storm itself, but rather a background state that influences the entire season. It's like setting the stage for a play, determining which weather patterns will take center stage. It influences where storms form, how they travel, and how much snow they ultimately deliver to the mountains. Some areas may see epic snowfall, while others might experience more variable conditions. For skiers and snowboarders, this subtle shift in the Pacific can mean the difference between carving through deep, fluffy powder or navigating hard, icy slopes. It's a game changer for winter sports enthusiasts. La Niña is a powerful reminder of how interconnected our planet's systems truly are. What happens in the ocean can shape the weather thousands of miles away, from the coast to the highest peaks. So, how does this all play out across the continent? Let's take a closer look at the impacts of La Niña on North America's winter weather and what it means for your next trip to the mountains. So how does La Niña shake up North America's winter? The jet stream bulges north over the Pacific, then dives south over the continent, splitting the weather. The northern US and much of Canada get cold, active weather, more storms, more snow, and frigid air. Ski resorts here see frequent refreshes and reliable snowmaking conditions. The southern US is usually drier and warmer, with fewer storms reaching places like Arizona and New Mexico. Western Canada, especially BC and Alberta, sits in the storm track's crosshairs, earning legendary snowfall. Eastern Canada and the Northeast US trend colder and stormier, but with more variability. The result, a clear divide between snow haves and have-nots. Let's zoom in on the regions that feel it most. In a La Niña winter, the Pacific Northwest becomes North America's snow epicenter. Resorts in Washington, Oregon, and northern Idaho get hammered by moisture-laden storms, sometimes hundreds of inches deep. Frequent storms mean a steady, deep snowpack, not just one-off dumps. Whistler Blackcomb in BC also thrives, often seeing record-breaking winters. For powderhounds, the PNW is the place to be. The Northeast, meanwhile, gets a wild ride. Cold Arctic air plunges south, giving Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine prime snowmaking conditions. Snowfall is boom or bust. One nor'easter can deliver feet, but a slight storm track shift can mean rain instead. Lake effect snow can bury upstate New York resorts. The general trend, colder and snowier than average, but with high variability. One week could be epic powder, the next icy. Both coasts get their moments, but the PNW is the consistency king. Now let's head inland. Inland, La Niña's influence continues, especially in the northern Rockies. Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho are big winners, catching cold, Pacific-driven storms. Resorts like Jackson Hole, Grand Targhee, and Big Sky see steady, light, dry powder all season. The snow stays pristine, making this region a dream for serious skiers. In the central Rockies, Utah and Colorado, the story is mixed. Northern resorts like Steamboat and Utah's Cottonwood Canyons often do well, catching the southern edge of the storm track. The further south you go in Colorado, the drier it gets. Telluride and Wolf Creek can miss out unless a rogue storm hits. Southern resorts can still score big, but the odds favor the north. For powder seekers, the northern Rockies are a top bet. Let's see what history tells us. To predict this winter, let's look at past La Niñas. The 2010-11 season was legendary for the Pacific Northwest and northern Rockies. Jackson Hole got over 550 inches. Alta saw 724. Meanwhile, the southern Rockies struggled with drought. The north-south split was clear. The jet stream funneled storms north, leaving the south dry. In 2007-08, Mount Baker saw 641 inches, and Whistler Blackcomb had a deep base for the Olympics. The east had persistent cold, allowing resorts like Stowe to make snow all season, even if natural storms were hit or miss. No two La Niñas are identical. Strength matters, and other atmospheric patterns can override the signal, but the trends are strong. The north wins big, the south often misses out. History is a guide, not a guarantee, but it's a powerful tool for planning. So, where should you chase powder this year? Let's break down the winners and losers for 2025-26. Here's your action plan. Get ready to book. Wondering where to find the deepest powder and the most epic runs this season? Let's break down the likely winners for 2025-26 so you can plan your dream ski trip and chase the best snow. The Pacific Northwest is set to dominate the snowfall charts again. Think Mount Baker, Stevens Pass, Crystal Mountain, Mount Hood, and Whistler Blackcomb. These resorts are primed for deep, consistent winters, with frequent storms and legendary powder days that keep locals and visitors coming back for more. Don't overlook the interior of British Columbia. Resorts like Revelstoke and Kicking Horse are forecasted to get hammered by relentless storms, delivering some of the best backcountry and inbounds powder in North America. If you crave adventure and deep snow, these spots should be high on your list. The Northern Rockies, Jackson Hole, Grand Targhee, Big Sky, and Schweitzer are classic La Niña beneficiaries. Expect frequent dumps, cold temps, and long stretches of prime conditions, making these resorts a powderhound's paradise. Northern Utah and Colorado resorts like Alta, Snowbird, and Steamboat are also strong bets for powder this season. These mountains often see big storms and light, dry snow, perfect for those legendary face shots and deep turns. Meanwhile, the American Southwest, including Arizona, New Mexico, and southern Colorado, faces a tougher season. Expect drier, shorter winters with resorts relying more on snowmaking to keep the slopes open. Flexibility and timing will be crucial if you're heading south. Southern California's ski areas can also struggle in these patterns, though higher elevation resorts may still score a few good storms. Keep an eye on the forecast and be ready to chase those rare powder days. The Midwest and Northeast are true wildcards. generally colder, with the potential for big storms, but also high volatility. You might get a week of epic snow, followed by rain or a deep freeze, so be prepared for anything. New England could see a few massive nor'easters, bringing blizzard conditions and deep snow, but don't expect steady powder all season. Timing your trip around these storms is key. For the most reliable powder and the best odds of scoring deep days, stick to the Pacific Northwest and the Northern Rockies. These regions consistently deliver during La Niña years. For everyone else, flexibility is your best friend. Watch the weather, be ready to chase storms, and don't be afraid to change plans last minute. Now let's talk strategy for making the most of your season. So, how do you plan the perfect La Niña ski trip? It's all about tracking storms, booking flexible accommodations, and keeping your gear ready to go at a moment's notice. Here's how to maximize your odds. Stay informed, stay mobile, and always be ready to chase the next big dump. With the right approach, you'll score unforgettable powder days this season. Planning for a La Niña winter? Book early in the winter regions: British Columbia, Washington, Wyoming, Montana, and northern Utah or Colorado. Choose high-elevation north-facing resorts for the best snow retention. If you're locked into specific dates, pick large resorts with robust snowmaking. Whistler or Steamboat are safe bets. For drier regions, wait to book and watch the forecast for storm cycles. Flexibility pays off. Multi-resort passes like Icon or Epic let you chase storms as they develop. See a big system heading for the PNW? Book last minute and go. Prepare for cold. La Niña brings frequent Arctic blasts. Pack extra layers, quality gloves, and face protection. Hand and foot warmers can make or break your day. Smart planning means more time on the slopes and better powder days. As winter approaches, La Niña is set to deliver dramatic contrasts. Cold and snowy up north, drier down south. For skiers, this is your cue. Aim for the Pacific Northwest, Northern Rockies, and northern Utah or Colorado. These regions are primed for deep powder and consistent storms. We've seen this pattern before. History backs up the forecast. If you're flexible, get a multi-resort pass and chase the storms. In the east, prepare for cold and the unpredictability of nor'easters. Wherever you go, pack warm layers. This winter will be frigid in the snowiest zones. La Niña is a gift for snow lovers, promising deep, cold, stormy conditions in iconic destinations. Wax your skis, check your gear, and watch the forecast. The mountains are calling, and the 2025-26 La Niña winter could be unforgettable. Get ready for the ride of the season. See you on the slopes.